probably tell from the accent, I was grew up in the UK, and my background's in telcos. I've only actually been working with banks for about 5 years now, and quite frankly, I consider myself little more than a frustrated customer. But my journey into banking started about 6.5 years ago when I moved to Australia. And being new to the country, I obviously had to open a bank account. I ended up opening about a number of different accounts with different banks, and in every single instance, the customer experience was honestly terrible. And I remember at the end of the whole process, walking up through Sydney CBD, up George Street, thinking to myself, if I ever get the opportunity to set up a bank that's really focused on the customer, I'd show them how to do it, not really thinking anything to it. So, online banking today, it's all the same. Over the past 20 years, online banking has been one big exercise in taking low-value transactions out of the stores and making them available online. Now, obviously that's provided huge convenience for our customers, and you can see that with the great uptake of the digital channels. However, it's banking on a bank's terms, and if you look at the difference between banks online, one's a blue one, one's a green one, one's a red one, one's a yellow one, there's no real difference. Let's consider the standard or the typical internet banking experience that everyone in the room will go through multiple times a week. So you go to a website, or increasingly now, a mobile phone. These are platforms that we've spent millions of dollars developing, advertising and creating content for. You ignore all that, you click on the top right hand corner, often you'll be required to use a random number as a username that means nothing to you but means something to your bank, and all that really does is demonstrate to you that all you are to the bank is another number. You take some security challenges and then you log in. Check your balances, you look at your transactions, maybe you make a payment and you leave. At BNZ, we believe that, or we're trying to help customers be good with money. So when we started to think about how we could improve the overall internet banking experience, what we quickly realised was staying within this paradigm will provide no extra value. We need to go back to the drawing board, and we need to start at the beginning again. So we ran a number of customer focus groups, and the insights we received were quite fascinating. So things like, I need to know about my money, not about banking. Banking's complicated, Facebook's not. From these sessions, we were able to extract a number of key proof points. These became our guiding principles. If we delivered these, we thought we could deliver the experience that our customers required. And our mission became to make customers feel great about the way that they manage their money. So every week we brought in small groups, and one particular exercise that we ran provided fascinating results. We asked customers to draw their money, and when you get people to do that, they look at you a little bit blankly, and they go, is this a trick question? And then they start to give it a go. And what you notice is that customers don't have bank accounts, they have pots of money. And they have lots of pots of money. In their heads, what they're doing is sort of compartmentalising their money against these pots for particular objectives or purposes. Around these pots then, they'll start to draw people and organisations. And then that sort of forms an ecosystem of your financial network. And then across this ecosystem, they'll draw arrows, and money will flow across this ecosystem. And that then, right there, became our challenge. How do we bring these mental maps that customers have of their money to life? Anyway, rather than talking any more about it, what I'm going to try and do is demo the product. And I was hoping to be able to control the demo from up here. However, just to prove the user experience, I've got a guy at the back who's going to control the demo. He's only seen it for 2 minutes, so it will prove whether we make this work or whether we didn't. Okay, so this is YouMoney. The first thing you'll notice that visually it is absolutely different from any online banking platform that you'll have seen today. absolutely represents those mental maps that customers have of their money. The accounts, the people, and the transactions. The left-hand side sort of represents this ecosystem of your accounts, your pots of money, and your financial network. On the right-hand side, there's a deep dive into actually the way your money is working. So if we click on the Stephen Nestor account, and if we just click to the transactions, so at the bottom, we all have online statements. But what is an online statement? All you're trying to do is find transactions, history that you had. So we asked our customers and said, do you ever use search in internet banking? Some of the feedback was, no, it just doesn't work. No, it doesn't work like Google. So the standards that people have in terms of user experience for their banks are not set by other banks, they're set by the leading digital experiences that they receive. With that, I'm going to close, and I'm just going to play a short video that highlights how we built YouMoney.